A really scary, potentially devastating thing happened to me the other day. I heard this hissing sound and then saw smoke coming out of the back of my 8 terabyte backup hard drive. Luckily, I was in my office at the time, so I quickly unplugged everything. My first thought was, holy shit, this could have been really bad. It could have started a fire. It could have even burned the house down. My legs were shaking. It took me a long time to calm down. I actually didn't even care about the files on that backup hard drive. I was just shocked at the potential of what could have actually happened if I hadn't been in the room at the time. After things cooled down a bit, I had a close look at the burned drive. I think the power adapter plug into the hard drive must have shorted out or something. It got so hot that the pin from inside the hard drive shot out and is now melted onto the plug. I opened up the 8 terabyte hard drive to see if there was any internal damage. It looked like the fire was contained to the power input. I couldn't see any other melted areas inside. Now I have 2 G-RAID backup drives that have exactly the same enclosure. One is 4 terabyte and the other 8 terabytes. So I'm hoping I can remove the hard disks from the 8 terabyte drive and put them into the 4 terabyte drive and save those files that are on there and transfer them to another backup. But before I do any of that transferring, I had to go out and buy a new backup hard drive for both of those backups to be onto. I need something newer and better. I mean, the hard drive that fried, or the power supply that fried, was purchased 8.5 years ago. So I think it's outlived its lifespan. And you know, I should have gotten a new backup system when I got my M3 MacBook Pro last year, but I, cobbled through. And you know what, that's a hard lesson to learn, guys. I started shopping and I looked around. I considered SSDs, and the problem with SSDs is they don't last forever. Yes, there's no moving parts, but another issue with SSDs is that they are kind of limited in size, and I couldn't find any large ones. I couldn't find anything really good that was larger than, I think it was about 8 terabytes. And I needed at least 12 just to get the files that I had on those 2 hard drives. And, they weren't full, but I still needed, I would think, at least 12 terabytes. So I looked at other solutions, and a few people that I follow have been using these Ugreen NAS drives. So I looked around online, and then I went shopping in person to a store here in town called Memory Express. I had a very nice sales guy named Robert, and he explained how the NAS works, and I kind of already knew, but I still had a few missing pieces in my knowledge. So I ended up getting a 4-bay NAS sync drive, and I bought 5 12 terabyte hard disks to go into it. And the reason I bought 5 for a 4-bay is that if one of those 4 bays goes down, one of those drives goes down, it's just a matter of swapping it out and putting in a new one. And the reason I can do this is because I set it up for RAID 5. So with RAID 5, if something goes down, what happens is, as I understand it, and I'm sure some of you guys will correct me on this, is that you can swap out a drive if one goes down and you won't lose any of your data because it's working with 3 drives out of the 4. I'm not going to get into the techie details. You need to know that I've never actually done anything inside a computer except 30 years ago I added some RAM to my Macintosh computer. So I'm not an IT person, but somehow I managed to figure out how to get this all together. And it was really fun to put the drives into the NAS, the Ugreen NAS, and it was kind of like Meccano. Now I'm showing my age here, but I did play with Meccano as a kid, and I think what reminded me of the Meccano was the small screws that you need to attach the hard drive itself into the thing that holds it. And those little tiny screws kind of reminded me of playing with Meccano back in the day when I was a kid. And I loved Meccano. If you know what Meccano is, then we're the same vintage. So after putting in all the hard drives, I hooked the NAS up to the home network, plugged it in, and lo and behold, it said, it's going to take 1 day and however many hours to set this up. And I'm like, whoa, because that's a long time to wait. I thought, oh, geez, I could just plug it in and it will, might take an hour or so to format. But no, when you have 12 terabyte hard drives and you have 4 of them to format and to synchronize, it takes a long time. I'm happy to say that, okay, it's the next day. I started this yesterday and it was finished just a few minutes ago. So I'm happy to report my new backup hard drive is formatted. Now, I'm not going to get into how to use the NAS and all that, but I just mostly want to say, if this is you, don't wait too long to back up your backups and to move your files forward. So I just looked at the NAS, there's nothing on it yet, and I have 32.5 terabytes of space. So I just wanted you to know the final tally. So 12 times 4 is 48, but because of the RAID 5 setup, it's 32.5, and I mean, that is awesome. I never expected to get that much. And the hard drives themselves, the hard disks, are not that expensive. So definitely, if you do something like this, don't forget to get a spare for a cold one so that you can exchange it if necessary. By the way, if you're wondering where all that coffee money that you guys give to me, or the donations, or the super thanks, guess where they're going? They're going into this new setup, because it came in just about 2,000 Canadian dollars when I added up a little bit of extra warranty, no quibble warranty, and things like that. So yeah, this stuff ain't cheap, but if I think about if I use it for 5+ years, it's a little bit of insurance. And by the way, I should probably get myself a second backup hard drive as well, but that will have to wait a bit because right now I'm kind of stretched. So that's the plan. But what I'm going to do is publish this video right now before I do all the file transfer, because that's going to take a long time. And I want to get this video out as soon as possible. Mostly, I want you to check your own backup hard drives. I don't want what happened to me to happen to you. What I will do is tell you the end of the story in a post. So I will publish a post on my YouTube channel here. And as soon as I've done all those file transfers, I'll let you know how it went, and I'll let you know if I saved my 8 terabyte hard drive files. So wish me luck, and we will see you in the next video. In the meantime, I guess you could watch another one of my videos while you're waiting, or get out there and go shopping and get yourself some new backup hard drives. See you soon.